This suggests that Gi-hun will die at the games because of player 222, in addition to being the reason he returned. Player 044's comment implies that Gi-hun will ultimately give his life to save Kim Joon-hee since he and his gang have developed a strong bond with and are protective of player 222 and her child. If player 044's prediction comes true, Gi-hun's reason for going back to the games and postponing his destined death is to save player 222 and the infant for a higher good. Player 044, who is portrayed by Chai Kuk-hee in Squid Game's ensemble cast, makes it clear from her opening scenes that she will have a complicated role in the games. Unsettling and a bit of a wild card, she comes in with a cocky attitude and a fiery temper that make her seem like a roadblock to Gi-hun's movement. It turns out that player 044 was formerly a well-known and strong Korean shaman who was in charge of casting curses and prophesies. Player 044's notoriety and exceptional intuition even lead to her gaining followers in the games, suggesting that the shaman's peculiarities have a deeper meaning. Although there were a number of unpredictable wildcard players in Squid Game Season 1 with unclear allegiances, player 044 seemed to have a greater goal than just showing how strange the characters of individuals who participate in these games may be. Instead, player 044 adds a more cult-like element to the games than Squid Game Season 1 did. Her abilities, whether genuine or not, have started to sway other weaker players in these games, who are already very open to suggestion, manipulation, and the belief that greater powers are at work. In order to survive Squid Game's competitions and earn the money they require in the outside world, many of the individuals who sign up for these games are lost and seeking some kind of direction or force to guide them in their lives. Even though it turns out to be mistaken, player 044's background as a shaman and his ability to accurately evaluate the other players provided some of those people someone to believe in and, perhaps, defend them. Although it is obvious that the shaman wants to continue competing in the games despite the danger of death and the violence, her true reasons for doing so appear to be more profound than money. It's possible that her intuitive abilities enable her to predict certain results from the games or enable her to curse and deceive others into losing. Perhaps Squid Game's recruiter choose her to give the player dynamics in these games a more ethereal and erratic touch. In any event, player 044's function cannot be limited to being the wild card, particularly because she appeared to foretell Gi-hun's bleak future. There are some pivotal scenes in Squid Game Season 2 that imply player 044's magical talents might have some validity, despite the fact that her strange conduct and cryptic statements could easily be written off as mere oddities. The popular Netflix series is undoubtedly giving viewers the impression that Gi-hun's abilities and prophecies have some validity, which heightens concerns about her future. A peculiar exchange between the two suggests that she knows Gi-hun will die in Squid Game Season 3, since she had already correctly predicted that Gi-hun had previously competed in the games and won. In Episode 3 of Season 2, Seo confronts Gi-hun and offers to clear his negative karma by explaining that his return was made for a more significant reason against his consent. In Episode 6, she brings up his fate once more, but Gi-hun ignores her. Player 044 enters the room with Gi-hun's group when the players are required to form groups of 10. After a brief pause to gaze at player 222 and her growing tummy, she turns to face Gi-hun and remarks, "There's a reason you've lived longer than you were destined to," before turning back to see player 222. This suggests that Gi-hun will die at the games because of player 222, in addition to being the reason he returned. Player 044's comment implies that Gi-hun will ultimately give his life to save Kim Joon-hee since he and his gang have developed a strong bond with and are protective of player 222 and her child. If player 044's prediction comes true, Gi-hun's reason for going back to the games and postponing his destined death is to save player 222 and the infant for a higher good. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos.